Hi, everyone. Today is Thursday, September 8th of 2022, and we are here for the weekly crypto review with Moo. And of course, we can't have it without MooAnt. How's it going?
Good. You and I have been busy beavers, haven't we? Last
Yes,
month.
all the
Yeah.
moving and shaking and all the changes happening. And I really feel like I need to get ready for something big that's coming.
Yeah. Next Wednesday, ETH merge. So depending on how you calculate it, this is what I'm excited about. All testnets really doing well. Bellatrix implemented the code into basically the different clients, basically determining the total difficulty block and basically telling it when to merge. So this is pretty slick. Let me just kind of pull up a few things here. Basically, depending on where you look at it, core dev, there's a couple different, because it matters, right? It matters on the hash rate and the activity of the network. But really, it's coming in about 6 days now. So that should be next Wednesday, sometimes between Wednesday and Thursday, probably of next week. So sometime between the 14th and the 15th. I'm just super stoked. Been waiting for this a long time. As you know, I've been an ETH holder for a very, very long time. I was always intended to go to proof of stake, and I'm glad it's here. Just really enjoying the whole process. Just very, very excited.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we should do in the meantime before that comes up. Thanks for bringing that up. I had some predictions from a couple of years ago saying how the blockchain movement would be going to proof of stake. And that's why I preferred, and most of the stuff I hold is proof of stake. I hold a lot of Dogecoin for a very long time, since 2017. And I know that that's a proof of work coin, but I also did feel like Dogecoin would be going to proof of stake as well. And I think I've heard that the developers are working towards moving towards that. So this is exciting news across the board, not only for the blockchain technology, but for those of us who are Sam Jammers and have been Sam Jammers for a few years, because most of us loaded the boat on Ethereum back when it was between $80 and $120. And even the people who bought it at $400, they still have done extremely well. And I think that Ethereum is getting ready to have another run. I had expressed that September would be a really good month. And for those of people who are new to the blockchain space, who are wondering, well, why don't they have an exact date for the ETH merge? What they do is they choose the block that it's going to happen. And then they estimate based on the Ethereum activity what date that block will be achieved. And that's what they're looking at. So that's why there's not an exact time. They're kind of doing a countdown based on the number of blocks that they're going through. So it's at a certain block that it achieves proof of stake, everything else. And you said it was the
Bellatrix.
Tricks. Yeah, I keep forgetting. There's so many of them, right? And there's like, okay, it's the beacon chain overlaid with its Bellatrix. They call them different names. And then I was like, which one's Alonzo? Oh, that's Cardano. That's right. So it's like, I'm trying to keep up with it. I'm feeling sorry for those people in the various securities commissions all over the world. I am completely tempted to reach out to a couple of my peeps locally here and offer my services if they need somebody to explain a few things. I think so. I think so as well. And I'm willing to do whatever I can in all areas of expertise that I may have. I mean, I'm not good at everything, that's for sure. I don't know anybody who is, but there's a few things that I specialize in, and and I've moved it all towards the blockchain technology. So I'm going to do whatever I can to support the industry, because I do feel that the reason why the world is in the mess that it is in right now is because of the corrupt fiat currencies that governments inadvertently print, and especially in the Western nations, because people basically vote in these politicians based on them getting a larger share of the pie. And you can see it. You can see it on the comment boards that as soon as things start sliding in a society, everybody starts fighting like little rats over like the last pieces of cheese. Oh, we should get the money because we need it because of this and that. And everybody's fighting over it. And it's like, no, there's a limit on the pie, and you just have to figure out your priorities, just like you do with your household, right?
Mm-hmm.
So blockchain will put an end to that, and because it's trustless and it's on a public ledger. And with more and more people moving towards Ethereum with the smart contracts, and a lot of people don't know what a smart contract is, but that's something that is going to save businesses huge amounts of money. It's going to be self-automated. And if you're somebody who owns Ethereum, you can make a regular living on helping to run the the transactions through holding a node, because that's what supports the decentralized part of Ethereum. And I intend on, having at least at a minimum through my lifetime, I mean, one node. And I had mentioned before that I felt like the income on that on a node would be about $2,000 a month. And I don't know if my math is off, because I just did it very quickly before I came on here live with you, that Ethereum would have to be at 15% return, because they've said 10 to 15% now. That's what's blowing everyone away, is that they're looking at a return of 10 to 15%. And where it's coming from is the volume on the network, because so many people are going to use Ethereum. So again, it's not one of these Ponzi schemes like the other, the stuff that's now in bankruptcy, that it was just a Ponzi scheme. There was no way they could keep up with the payments. But this is a real way that you can earn money. And that comes up with a value of $5,300 if it's percent. I'm sure someone can quickly do the math on what you would to get $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year at 10%. So to get $24,000 a year at 10%, you would have to be you'd have to have almost $250,000, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So there's different ways we could do this. For example, trying to think of the latest. I think Lido's given about 3.9% right now, but let me see if I can go to we used to do this all the time. Remember, Sam, we used to do this about weekly. Take a look at these staking rewards calculators, and just give me a sec. Let me see if I can roll back. What's great about this is this really gives an opportunity. What happens now is that users and holders and of this network, right, that want to validate blocks and become a validator, can now share in transaction fees, can receive rewards for validation of this network in a way that only miners could do before. So now holders can actually do this. This is great. So miners are in business to mine blocks, right, and sell them into the market. So it's kind of a change when you have actual holders out there, users or consortiums, right, out there that now they don't necessarily have to sell that supply, sell that reward, sell the thing that they're making or discovering into the market. There's so many ways that this is beneficial. We've been over this numerous times, but if you're new with Sam and I, then maybe you're not aware of this, but this ETH merge is a big deal. It's equivalent to like a 3 times Bitcoin halving. It's a big deal. There's going to be a period there where the withdrawal rewards are not even enabled to take out. And that period is probably going to last 6 or 12 months. So there's going to be a lot less supply in the market. We know what happens when there's a lot less supply. And it's just kind of a wonderful development. I also want to stress again, there's so many misconceptions around this merge, and I should probably say this. I know I say this a lot over on the Nerds, but don't expect your transaction fees to get any cheaper. However, if you are running a validator node, then meaning you have 32 ETH, you're going to be starting to receive all sorts of rewards, transactional rewards, validation of blocks, things like this. So really cool. But you don't have to have 32 to run a node. You don't have to you can run a node right now, just if you have some extra hardware, and it will be the same after the merge next week. Basically, anybody with some spare computing power and would like to learn, you can set up a node on the network, which helps protect the network and helps the network be distributed and work really, really well. And that's what I would almost say for someone interested in something like this, because it's really the same process. To add the validation piece onto it, you just need 32 ETH. So you could just run a node, get used to it, break it, just tear it down, build it back up, do many things, get very comfortable with it. And then once you get comfortable with that, then think about maybe if you want to be a validator on this network. There's a lot of staking as services going on right now, right? Coinbase is offering some staking as services, and they're offering derivative products, meaning CBETH, so people can actually get the rewards before their nodes or staking as a service are actually producing the rewards or the withdrawal of the rewards. Lido's doing really well. Rocket Pool is doing great. Someone could set up a business in Rocket Pool if they wanted. There to have what they would call their smart node, you only need 16. So even a family of 4, right, could all throw in 4 ETH and boom, they have a node. Things like this, and benefit from all the transactional benefits of running a node. I could go on and on about this, but we probably shouldn't. Why don't we get to the questions? We got about 28. We've had a break in our show, so I'm sure people have lots of questions here. I'm just excited about ETH. Sam, I know you are too. Long time coming, right?
Yeah, we've been waiting, and there's a lot of stuff that is going to come up behind Ethereum that we've been waiting for, like Cardano. Solana is another one when, it can get some more experience like Ethereum, after all the hacks and everything that just make it, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger in blockchain. But Limit Break has a question here that was upvoted with 30 votes. So I'm interested to see what Limit Break is asking.
Yeah, let's take a look. First one here. Hey, Sam, which do you feel is more likely to happen before now in October? Doge runs hard and hits $1, XRP hockey sticks to 10, or perhaps the lately unloved XLM makes a mad dash, breaking all new highs. It's not easy riding these waves out, but we know it all will be worth it. Thank you.
All of the above.
Okay. All right. Second question here from Chris. Hey, Sam and Moo, do you see Reef and XYO at $1 this year? If not, what high do you see these at the end of this year?
I feel like those will be that Reef will go at least 10 times, and XYO it already went on a little bit of a run. But yeah, I would say like both of them would be 10 to 15 times. I don't know which one is which, like which one's 10 or which one's 15 times, but I hold both of them, so it doesn't matter. I'm like, I'll just hold both of them. I'll just set the jump off 10 times for both of them. I don't know. Like my first jump off, I don't ever sell everything all at once, I won't say ever. There was one time I did do that, but it was just, I just made a stupid return on something. So I was like, oh, I better get all that out. So anyhow, yeah, I would say that just 10 times, and you're probably looking at something more in the dollar range, like, or dollars when the herd arrives. And we're seeing that happen more and more. So probably within the next year, by next September, things will be completely wild in cryptos, because originally, of course, when the markets get smashed down, cryptos get smashed down as well. But now the markets are running again, but there's going to be a point that it won't matter, because cryptos will be standing on their own, and people will have made such stupid money, and people will have heard about it, and they'll be like, yeah, but that already happened to cryptos already crashed, and that's how that person made all that money. They got in there and they invested a bunch and they held on, and and that's what other people will do as well. So we're going to be in the rapid zone between now and the end of 2024.
Deb's got one here. Hey, Sam and Moo, when do you think the price of ADA will be $10? Can you see this $10 ADA price coinciding with other future crypto events or coinciding with a future world event? Your insight is always appreciated. Thank you.
So after Ethereum does its big run, then it'll be all eyes on like Cardano and a few other ones that are that offer similar types of services as far as Ethereum, sort of like an alternative to Bitcoin. But what Cardano has is not what Ethereum has, right? Cardano has something different, just like Polkadot has something different, just like Solana has something different, as well as Avalanche too. Like they all like offer different things. And the Polkadot, Gavin Wood is one of the co-founders of Ethereum, and he had moved on and created Polkadot. And so I had always felt very confident that that would be another one that all eyes will be on. It'll be like, oh, well, he's the co-founder of Ethereum, and people who invested in Ethereum when it was just a few dollars. I mean, look at where they are now. Oh, look, Polkadot is very cheap, so it's kind of the same thing so just watch Ethereum. That's going to be your signpost. Once Ethereum is, and I talked about, 10 to 15% return. I was talking about the people who have the 32 ETH who are staking it like without using a service, or it's a little bit more complicated and stuff. But again, if you have a couple of nodes and you have some, you're willing to take the time to learn how to do it, I mean, there's going to be a big payoff for you. Other people just shouldn't be allowed to touch that stuff, so they can go to one of the other services. But in the meantime, yeah, those would be, ADA would be, it's definitely on my list of future up and comers. When new people are just joining now, I'm like, oh yeah, well, make sure you get some Cardano, make sure you get some Solana. That's all in the next run. So yeah, $10 will be easy for Cardano to reach when the next run comes, because it's just going to be like a big pile on, right? And $3, what would it go to? 360? I can't remember. It went pretty high. It went over $3, and that's going to be like nothing. The next run, it's just going to go right past it.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. This next one here is, hey, Sam and Moo, will October and November be good times for the crypto markets?
Well, I think so. I mean, again, it's like, what kind of stomach do you have, right? And remember that you're not going to know like which some cryptos you'll buy when they're like up here and then they'll go down and then they won't move again until like over here, whereas other ones are moving up. There's going to be some favorites for sure in October and November. I believe that we hold many of those favorites because, again, I believe we hold, survivors. And that's really all you need. You just need to hold a survivor. And, even ones like Tezos, well, you got to wait until it just seems to be overnight. Just somebody talks about it, everybody gets interested, and it nothing goes slow with cryptos. It's like one day something is like $10 and then, by 3 days later, it's like 500. That's the kind of mania. It'll be like a mania is coming.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. Next one's from Arcane Voodoo. It says, Samantha mentioned at the end of the year when she spoke in the last couple of live streams, are we waiting for the midterm elections to be over, meaning after November, or is there a different catalyst that will launch this next profit-taking run? Inquiring minds want to know.
One of the things that's really going to drive cryptos is the meltdown of the fiat currencies all over the world. I mean, when you see the euro going to zero, it's coming. It's coming. All that is coming, and that's what's going to drive people into cryptos. But remember that there's a lot of fear, and remember what fear brings. I mean, people want to hold on to their cash, but then their greed overtakes them when the market is down really low. And yeah, because I'm going, oh, I should buy some uranium. even I have nothing in the stock market, but even I was like, oh, I should buy some uranium. And even though you've kind of sworn off the stock market, you can't help it. Sometimes it's going to be even worse with cryptos because so many people are going to be, made millionaires overnight. And that's what people are going to become attracted to. And it's almost going to be like a sideshow to all of the crazy stuff that's going on in the world.
Yeah, I mean, lithium is jumping like crazy today, right? A lot of commodities. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. Bill D says, hey, Sam, if you were new to the market and starting our portfolios today, what would be your top 3 to 5 coins? I'm guessing that Doge would be one of them. Thanks, Bill. Why don't I go ahead and just maybe pull up CoinMarketCap or something? We can kind of just take a look. I hope you can see this, Sam. Maybe I can blow it up a little bit. Oops.
So Ethereum, of course, because of what's going on with Ethereum, and that would be your, if somebody had let's say $20,000 and I would be like, okay, well, you want to have some gunpowder in there. So take like a quarter of it, and put it in Ethereum because we know that that's only going to go up. And then I would choose Cardano, Solana, and let's see, Doge, of course, and Polygon, just for this week.
Sure. Yeah, just looking at this list, if I could say ETH 3 times, I would, but that's probably unfair.
Yeah.
I do love Polygon.
Right.
What else? I'll show you 2 that have done really, really well for me over the last 30 and 60 days. And these are all ETH ecosystem, right? GMX is a wonderful product on Arbitrum. It's really, really done exceptionally well over the last couple months. And then Euler is pretty new on the spot. It's a DeFi, but it's very, very interesting how this works. And this has done extremely well. I think in the last 30 days, it's up about 80%. So these, many things touching. ETH is so strong right now, you guys. ETH is carrying the entire market, and it has been. It really has been. Especially since that Father's Day smash down, right? But I could even look at a different chart and you would see how strong ETH has been. It's carrying the entire market. So a lot of these ETH things that touch ETH or ETH ecosystem things are just doing really, really well. So that's what I would say, Sam. And then I want to go to this calculator that we were talking about before. You know, if you were going to run a validator, for example, and you were going to have 32, and this is right at the right on the Etherscan site, etherscan.org/calculator. But we could play with some of these numbers. But just at today's price of ETH, which is 1635. If everything just stayed at its current price and everything else, basically that would be 114 a week, $500 a month, and almost $6,000 a year. But why don't we go ahead and just put in $5,000, because that was very close, right, to our all-time high. So if we were just looking at basically a $5,000 Ethereum price, things change quite drastically, don't they? It'd be $350 a week, $1,500 a month, or almost $18,000 a year. And we could get pretty ridiculous with this. You want to give me a number, and we'll just type it in, whatever number you would like.
12,000.
All right.
That's my jump off for the rest of my Ethereum. The extra. The
So
speculative ETH.
Yeah. So this could be, if we get there, this could be absolutely wonderful, right? I mean, what a nice business somebody could run, at 119 a day, or 838 a week, or 3,700 a month, or $43,000, almost $44,000 a year. That's just wonderful, and very, very interesting. And depending how you do this, you'll be capturing even more fees than just this. These are just the staking rewards. You'll also be capturing transaction fees, things that the miners used to capture before, right? So very, very interesting. I just wanted to bring that up. And I should mention, I also love Link, but everybody knows what I love. It's always the same stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I still hold my Link too. It's just that they just wanted a couple of them. And I look at which ones I feel are really going to make some big moves. And people knew that I was a maniac about, Polygon back when the market got stabbed and started to turn around in the middle of June. And I think we called the bottom on that, didn't we, MooAnt?
Yeah, I think so. Kind of nailed it.
Yeah, I put it all in writing now on my community page for YouTube, where I just said I think this is the bottom's in. So, and we were under 900 billion. We were in the 800s, and Ethereum, at $800 and something dollars. Hello, that was crazy. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, this is like free money you can get in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think anybody that, listen, sometimes the best buy is the one that's the hardest to make, right? And people that knuckle down at that 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, man, they're happy today, aren't they? David Jones says, hey, Sam and Moo, do you see any unexpected setbacks from the Ethereum merge? Thanks, guys.
No, I didn't see anything serious, David. And I'm happy to tell you that things have gone as predicted with Ethereum in the past year, including it moving to proof of stake. So I can't see why I would be off on Ethereum. And I'm very confident that even if you pick up some Ethereum today, that you'll be looking at it on the upside in a couple of weeks. No problem.
Thanks, Sam. JCat says, hey guys, I have some real strong feelings about AMP lately. It's a steal right now. I have a feeling it's going to take off soon. The world is going to need easy crypto payments very soon. What do you guys think? Let me just pull up AMP and we'll take a look. AMP is not one I ever look at, so let's go look at AMP. Currently setting at 0.005. And if I it's down about 95% off its all-time high. So yeah, I gotta make this a little smaller. I can't really see; it's too big. What are your thoughts, Sam?
Well, thankfully, AMP, it says here it's offered on Coinbase Exchange, AMP to USD. Somebody had said that they were taking AMP off of Coinbase, and I was like, oh, well, that doesn't sound right. I see it as a survivor. It's of course a flyer where it's a half a penny. I do like that 63,000 people like it. So ones that are sort of 4,000 or 5,000 or 7,000, like anything under 10,000, when it's, taken a hit of 90 something percent, I'm usually like, yeah, you know what? There's some better deals out there right now that'll have a better turnaround rate. But AMP is in the top 100. So if somebody if somebody holds it right now, just hold on to it, because I do see it going quite a bit on the upside. And we all know these tokens go up a lot when the market turns around. And people are looking for they're penny shopping is what they're doing, and that's why a lot of these ones people pile into them, because mentally in their mind, if they can pay half a penny for something instead of $1.05, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to pay. They don't understand. It's really the project, the multiple. I wasn't sure if I would be able to do 100 times my Ethereum, but I was pretty positive that I could see that happen, just because of the flippening between Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I feel like, and I said earlier this year that I felt the flippening between Ethereum and Bitcoin would happen before the end of the calendar year. I mean, what does that tell you? It tells you that money's coming out of Bitcoin and it's going into Ethereum. And I want an apology from the Bitcoin maxis. I want an apology from all of them. They owe an apology to their subscribers who have missed out on the Ethereum opportunity. So I want an apology.
I agree. CryptoMan21 says, hey, Sam and Moo, do you see VET be back in all-time high, be back at its all-time high again? I think is what they mean. Let's go take a look at that. Currently at 2 cents, down about 91%. Its all-time high was 28 cents. Wow. So they're asking, will this ever get back to its all-time high? I think is what they're asking.
Yeah, all-time high and past it. I mean, Vechain is a big one. The UFC picked it up. They're into NFTs now. Again, it'll be the bargain basement shopping. And remember, Vechain is in, the top of the charts. It's not buried in number 1,420, right? It is, what is it ranked at? Number 35. So like I said, anything in the top 50, especially when you get into the penny ones, those will have the largest multiple. I mean, I am not surprised that I have made the most money from Doge, because Doge was, without a doubt, the cheapest coin that I paid for. Like, it was the cheapest. So literally what happened with me, I know other people, because was one of the reasons I got it, because of what I saw in the future. And I was like, oh, wow, geez, you don't even have to put that. You can do really well. And anybody who looks at Vechain, and if you don't have any, I would get some right now at the price that it's at. And isn't it interesting as well that a long time ago I called on the video, if you look under the crypto predictions video, look for the Doge one. And I said that 5 cents was the bottom for Doge. And you know what? The lowest it's gone since that video was made, I think like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, is like 5.005 cents. It never hit the 4 point whatever it was. 5 cents was the floor. So I'm pretty confident that especially being an early Q lab, that most of us got for 0.004 cents. So some people, cashed it in once it went to 4 cents because they were already 10 times that, or they took a portion out at 10 times. So some people already have their money back on VET. And I just say, let it ride, let it ride. And then if you didn't get your money back on VET, then just wait. If you paid, like, let's say you piled on at 5 cents, you were like, oh, let's get it now. VET at less than half a penny, it's really easy to justify taking out some profits from that. So if you were an early Sam Jammer and you bought Vechain to get that awesome reading deal I gave way back then, remember? Vechain was one of them, a Vechain reading. And you held on to that. I'd say hold on more. And we should see, like, probably on the next big run, 25 cents at least. I don't know if it'll be 28 cents, but I would say at least 25 cents. I'm gonna press the button once it hits 25 cents again.
Thanks, Sam. Crypto Dusty Dog says, hey, Sam and Moo, do you see Gala hitting $1 this year?
I don't know about this year, but it's not going to take it's not like the way. And I'm more interested in keeping my Gala for the long term, right, MooAnt? We're looking at this as like a little business thing. And once it gets up to a certain level, we may even have to incorporate, right?
Absolutely, or have it buy us a nice beach house somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
somewhere.
Or have the profits buy us a nice beach house.
Yeah.
This is outside of price, but man, over at Psychic Nerds and just kind of we've been loving Gala games. Last week we got to play the alpha release, the limited alpha release of The Walking Dead Empires. That was a whole lot of fun. And then over these next few days, last night, a few of us were playing Superior. Superior is a really fun game. What's interesting about this is it's not only available on the Gala Games site where you can install and play the game, and it's a wonderful game. It's like a third-person shooter. The colors look like the Akira, so Akira anime, if anybody's familiar with that anime called Akira. It's just really cool. Basically, superheroes go bad, and then you got to take down the superheroes, the bad superheroes. So very, very cool game. But what's cool about this is basically it's released on Epic Games. Now, Epic Games is a very, very large Web 2 kind of platform, very much like Steam is a very, very large Web 2 gaming platform. But